what I uh, ah, okay. So the the idea of the purpose of this meeting is that we are 100% clear on the standardization of the look and feel plus the behavior of each zetasat. Okay. Why? First of all, because those zetasat, they will be developed by many people, tech, non-tech, and that if we just tell them do a zetasat like we did at the Zetaton, everyone will do the way he think with his own color pattern, with his own type of behavior. Okay, so uh, with Corentin, we have a pretty good idea of what we want, but now we just want to finalize it. Okay, um, so let me share my screen. Um, so let me share my screen. Okay, so we agree that basically that is uh, more or less what we say is we have the Zeta ERP, which is the core, and we have the Zeta SAT. Okay. Let me put it here. Okay. So, what is to me uh, the common elements of a Zeta SAT? Means something that we need to have everywhere, every time, systematically. Okay. But I will put it not in the order, but based on my experience, and then you guys can also say, okay, not the most important one, but the language selector, the theme selector, okay. And at this point, we say that we're gonna put four languages, okay, which is FR, EN, ID, and Spanish, okay. And for the team selector, it's gonna be clear, dark, and WCAG. Okay, WCAG is a norm, a standard for accessibility, is to help people who have uh, a difficulty on the vision uh, to still be able to use the app um, using very contrasted design, and also using the voice command. Okay. Team selector. Okay. Then we have the in the settings. Okay. We have own table creator, table builder, process builder, email notification templates. Okay. Um, logs of activity for all users.
Logs is not even in settings, I believe.
Yeah. It could be in what?
It's directly in the Zeta Stat app, like it's one of the horizontal tabs next to the indicators and follow up. And remember what I did on
Yeah, we
the.
say the cron, etc. But this one is I'm the I'm the operator. I have
Yeah.
the view of the log of everyone, right?
Mm, yes, but still in the same tab. Why make it in the settings? Everybody has the tab logs based on the permissions. The member can only see his log of himself and the members, and maybe the crons, all the
Okay,
crons,
we
or we
can.
decide, and the
Okay.
operators can see everyone, and the director can see director plus members,
So
but not
logs
operator.
is about activity, uh, is about the crons, is
Email,
about the history of emails.
that's it.
Okay. Um, okay. So table builder, process builder, but also process builder and can be okay. We have to decide difference between process and form builder. Okay. Uh, like for example, if I go, I show you in the no, it's not in this workspace. Okay, hold on. Let me move this one. Okay, I'll share my screen the other side. It's better. And I share this one. Okay, and then here, yeah, the signal is not running. Um, okay, if I use this one, I'll make it directly from the. Corentin, can you create a channel for four of us so we can?
Okay, okay.
Okay. So here, for example, the appeal. Okay, the appeal is uh, is a form, one simple form, and then in the admin. I can go to the form template, edit this one, and say, okay, for as a generic thing, I don't want this field. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and even I don't want this field. Okay, save template. Okay, and then I can create new templates. And to create new templates, I will put a test template. I'll put this is a test. Then generic template. No, it's not a generic template. It's a template for specific titles. Okay, let's say this three. Okay, and then I add a field which is reason of appeal, and this one is text. Okay, then I put here, please enter here the reason of appeal. Let's say I will call in reason of appeal without justification. Template of appeal with no file for justification. Okay, but I will ask, I will add another field that will be, this field will be birth date of birth, DOB. Okay, and it is a date file. Okay, and both are required. Then I save. Okay, and complete save. Okay, so when I am in as a student, so you can see the it's not a complex thing. It's just a form. Okay, and here in this one, I will not have the file to upload because it's a different template. Okay, um, here my email history. It could be here the logs. Okay, so basically, in terms of uh, thing is the menu. Okay, the menu is horizontal. Horizontal. Okay, and then in the menu, I have the here. I have the icon. Okay, I have the in the menu menu elements. Okay, so in the menu, I have the icon of the app. I have the name icon plus name of the sat. Okay. Then I have my elements, of course. Okay. Then plus so the menu items, and then I have here the language selector, and it's like this. Okay. And I have the theme selector, which is like that. I can do this one, or do this one. Okay. And then I have the account account. Okay. For uh, where I got the my identity and then the logout. Okay. Login logout. Okay, so let me just duplicate this one and here move this one. So that's the common menu bar elements. And this one is the items, the menu where we have a setting. Okay, and we say that this setting is accessed by admin operator. Okay, and this one is okay. Yeah, and so of course, different app, different menu. Like if I go to this one, it's a different app. Okay, where I have the menu and I have always the setting. Okay. Um, okay. So okay. Um, then we have the styling. Okay. So the styling, of course, we have for clear, dark, and WCAG. Okay. But we have already a pattern. Okay. Let me show you the pattern I have. The template for prompt. Okay. Let me show you. Uh, okay. Let's say prompt for styling. Okay, I will put here and I will share with you the files I've been using for this styling. So I have one file that is, I don't know if you see my screen. Yeah. Okay. I have one file that say, okay, you will use styling from a new styling for pages with the global rule. So this one we have to update because at the time there was just dark and light. Okay. The language selector, etc. How it is exactly the prompt that I use to create a new app. Okay. Um, and then in this is the styling for the menu where I put directly here the layout, the code. Okay. Uh, that is directly putting the information, dimension, and spacement. Well, sometimes in French we have to put in English, but Even you know, the great thing is, even in the same sentence, when I mix English and French, the AI understand what I mean. That's crazy. Um, the logic of how to activate a page, like for example, the logic is you know, when I am on the menu, okay, here it's this color, and then I have a sub menu that is on the second line, okay. The buttons action are always orange like this with a gradient. All the action button have a gradient. Uh, I, in the tables, I've always option to have in table form with icon,
hadir doang apa namanya ada
you
visi
know,
doang
appearing like that, or in cards.
ya
Okay, like
aku
for
tuh
example, this one I have in cards is nice and neat. Okay,
ya
um,
kamu inget yang gini nggak yang kamu buat tadi
um,
sama beli gandum
that's the thing. We have to systematically avoid to have the
bulan
trash can, but we can have the deactivation
kita kira
instead of trash
biar
can.
di sini kan
That's already a concept that we have. Um, the library of icon is Lucid, is this one,
aku suka nyari-nyari
where we is very nice and you know very light and a very elegant icons, and really it covers the 1,600 icons. Okay, and you have here the sheet better. Okay,
reject reject reject
then the checklist to apply for the styling. So one thing that we said also with Corentin is that when in a table where there is more than three icons, it's I click on it and then I have the list of action possible. So the column of action is always uh, this width maximum, maybe a bit more. Okay, maybe Quentin, you can show it because I never did it on my. I think I never did it on my side.
We just have like I showed you yesterday. I'll take the screen.
Yeah,
Like I show you, we are in Bagas. You know, we have those three dots like this with the actions. Actually, I have it more in this one. I have three dots, and then I have the action button. So it's not taking too much
yeah,
space in the table for nothing, and it's clear also with the text directly.
yeah. Yeah. So what do you think, guys?
ya I think
Yeah, I think we can like the first one we can have the
from the one that
from the
is
one that you share, the styling, the
I think the
I think the
slide that you could
slide that you could also
the one that
the one that
specify the
specify the detail of
content the
content,
apps
the apps.
also
We can
Yeah.
also
use it on the
use it on the
for the
prompt for the initiate prompt, something like that.
So what I'm gonna do is in the channel I will put all the files I have.
Mhm.
Uh, then you can also experiment on your side how it applies, because sometimes I realize that the menu is okay, but the page is not okay. And then sometimes I realize that on the dark theme, some aspects are not readable, like for example, some drop down. are not really readable. So I have to, again to ask him. I will. What I'm gonna do also is to copy and paste the prompts, the real prompt, that not just the initial prompt, but also the different conversation I had with Base 44. Um, uh, yeah, I think that's the best way to do uh, is to basically, because now what we need is really, like, for example, we ask, I don't know, we ask Jian and Jason, okay, okay, guys, now you're gonna spend 2 days on making a new app, okay, and this app is uh, internship, okay. So we have to provide them the package, okay, that they will enter first in the base 44 for them to have, okay, the structure, and then they will have a separate prompt to explain what is the app about. Okay, so at least we are 100% sure that whatever they do, it will looks and it will behave all the same way. Okay, there is, and then so what you're gonna see is how sometimes I struggled with the base 44. So maybe from there you could also enter it in AI and ask, okay, out of this, can you make a good prompt? Okay. Uh, there is also one thing that I realize is when we put too much at the beginning,
Yeah.
it's overwhelmed and it's going in different direction. So
On this, I want
definitely,
to rebound on this, Chris,
yeah,
because I just saw your app that you have on the appeal. That you already present to me at first. That was simple and clean, and that you spend a lot of time on it. And I see you have many things now. What I think the big rule we want also on the V3 right now is, yes, we have a lot of ideas for all the custom table, custom process, like I see you put like process setting, many of those things, but those things does not exist yet on the current pod that we have, EDH and EDMCC. And I think we need to, okay, we list them, but we start simple and we expand from that. Because if we
yeah.
put too much, it's going to be complicated for user to understand, for us to
No,
do.
for
It's going
example,
to take time.
the process builder, we don't need to put it now.
Yeah, I think
But
everything that
from
is not
template and
already.
table creator, yes, I think table creator, yes, because that's the export.
Yes, we can, but the thing is we need to prioritize. And to me, it's everything that already exists on the EDH. That's what we want on the V3. Because, but like I told you yesterday, guys, not hard coded like it is on the edge, but more scalable. So at least we already have a product that can be used. Small schools, only hundreds of students, like the Maiva told us. They don't need too much things neither.
No, no, agree,
Already a
agree.
small good base, and then we can prioritize what's the new things we bring on top. The assistant AI chatbot on the tab, the table builder, the process builder. All of those.
Yeah, but be careful, Corentin, because one thing that I realize is yes, you cannot ask too much at the beginning. That's one thing. But also, when you ask something more later, then I don't know why, but it's
So,
struggling. If I don't put it at the beginning, like for example, the language, my first thing that I did is eval PC. I tell you, until now, there is no language selector, and up to now, there is no language selector. Why? Because I did it long after I set up the first version. And then after that, it was struggling, was giving me error by adding the language selector after the app is done. Problem. Um,
But then
so
that's a problem
there
that
is
you
a
need
there is
check.
something to adjust, and this is what you guys will need to adjust. Okay, is what is the sequence of prompt that you should do? I don't think that putting everything in once is working, but also I don't think that uh, putting things too late in the sequence is also good. So we should say, for example, okay, we start by the styling, then we start by the menu of the parameters, then etc. etc. You know, it's uh, because, for example, creating the table is something that can be done at the end. Why? Because first of all, and I come back to this one to show you
Bulan-bulan ini dari sendiri
here.
RA dan bisa
To have this one,
itu sama sekali itu aku ingat masih semua itu semua punya
to have this one, you need to have already your. This one is not me adding those variables. Okay, these are all the fields. So it's only when the app, I would say, is working that okay, now I can ask create a module called my table, and I can create my table, because then he can tell me, you know, like for example, if I go on the name, he will put me everything, okay, about something that has name, the dates, every field that has a date, okay. So and it's regrouped by entity. So we need to really find what is the right sequence that will not be too early or too late. Okay. Um, so the styling. Okay. So we need to have the styling and the the prompt also for the different elements. Like for example, process builder. But first of all, is not necessarily in every Zetasat. Okay. But the table builder, yes.
ya
But again, as I said, we don't need to put it at the beginning. Also, one thing very important is, and I added it here, is the what I call the services and database. Okay. Uh, email. This email, we send the email to Zeta Hub,
bisa update semua
Zeta, Zeta
kan di form
Hub
jadi ada general notification reminder tuh
for emails.
nah,
Okay.
itu sendnya setelah 7
Here,
ya
Zeta Hub,
kita nunggu
and
7
I
hari
show
juga
you how it works here.
nah, dipaksa sekarang tuh gimana caranya
Okay. It's here. Okay. So basically, we have our Zetasat, we have our Zeta Mail service. So we have to decide whether we call it hub or service. Okay. Then it's sending to SES, and then SES send the email. What is the interest of this is that in ZetaMail service, and I show you how it looks like. Um,
ada stand
takes time to load the first time on base34. And okay, basically here, exactly the same way I have this here. In ZetaMail service, I declare my apps and I put the API key. Okay. So here I say, okay,
Apa? 47.
student
Yes.
appeal
Tuan telah hantar aku
jury
belum
decision.
bisa itu. Belum sempat aku.
Okay. So the type of application is a SAT app, and then I explain here my stuff. Okay. And then when I create it, it's here now, and I can add one key. Okay. And I add a key. Okay. And this key, I will call it appeal key. Well,
Ya,
maybe it will.
memaksa.
Then he has generated a key for me. I can copy the key and then put it in the Zetasat appeal to connect to the ZetaMail service. Okay, I can put, of course, a date of expiry for the key. Okay, then I create my key, and then I have my key here. Okay, so and then here I have my. Let me put it in English. Um, I have here my history of emails that have been sent by the SAT to the hub and delivered to SES. Okay. I've not done the connection between the mail service to SES, but it's not a big deal. I'll do. I can see here what is this email. Okay, exactly. Um, and SES event is actually the feedback from SES telling me if the email has been delivered. So this one, I created Event Bridge in
Ya,
AWS, and it works. So whenever we send an email, I have the information whether this email has been delivered, open, etc. Um, then this is the users of the thing, and I have the dashboard of this app. Okay, so this one is an app by itself. Okay, but is basically a hub that all the Zetasat will communicate with, and we will have the same thing for the PDF, etc., etc. Okay, um, for the email PDF. So actually, is it a PDF? What we tell data mail? Okay, service Zeta PDF service. Okay, um, etc. etc. Okay, then we have the database. Okay, this one is on Atlas.
dia mau
Okay,
ngecek flow.
and
Juga mau ngecek
what
flow.
we need to very important in the initial prompt, we need to say that the database to be used is our database on MongoDB Atlas. So what he's gonna do in the first thing is he will create his own database in base 44, but it will be using the structure of MongoDB. Then after that, we will duplicate what we have in base 44 in the database. We'll put in MongoDB Atlas, and then we'll just have to connect it. And for that, I made I'll show you MongoDB Atlas. Okay, connected. And here, for example, I have the schools. Okay, I have a collection of schools. Okay, and here in Eval PC, let's see. In Eval PC here, the schools here are this one from MongoDB. Okay, here they are those ones. Okay, and there is a connection. And what I did is a step by step. Alors, MongoDB. Let's share with you. Here. So I did the step-by-step procedure on how to connect ZetaSAP to MongoDB. And here there is the steps to follow. Okay. It's not really difficult. We just have to follow the steps.
Oh,
There are 17 steps for the first collection. Then for the next collection, we just start at step 8. Okay. So it's because at the beginning, it's just setting up the key and the connection. Okay, so once the connection is done with and I use Mongo shell to set up. Okay,
kenapa?
so this one I will share also with you. But it's important that actually, in terms of process, this is what I think. Let me the process overall process of ZetaSat from base 44 to production. Okay, so uh, step one is
Oh,
the
ada
team
buttonnya ya.
is making the initial prompt describing the app, the ZetaSat. Then uh, of course the input, the prompt in base 44, the description prompt. Then they input the prompt for styling. And then they input the prompt for the common menu
Oke, kayaknya ada
items.
kayaknya juga
Language,
aku nyoba buttonnya kan muncul
theme,
pas
and
revision gitu.
the
Akhirnya kamu pas validatornya nge-reject kan
the mo-
korektor
the basic
itu kan di
functionalities.
quality file juga muncul dia pakai
Okay, like table builder, etc. Okay. Then once it's done,
Ada yang lain ada. Titik
So this one is done by uh, the SAT team. Then after that, we have the production team. Connect the database to our MongoDB. Get the code to GitHub
Aku yakin ini gini apa sebagai
repo.
revision. Jadi ini tabirnya kan mau buat
Connect with the Zeta services. Email. Well, for example, in the eval, where is it?
ada ya.
In the eval PC, when I do the PDF, today is not calling Zeta PDF. So we could have, as you say, Corentin, maybe it's not necessarily to make it too complicated at the beginning because the job is done and it's really nice job. So maybe I don't need to use the Zeta PDF. That's the kind of thing that we need to really decide. Okay. What do you think about this process, guys?
Mr. Chris, for the
Yeah.
production team, we get the code to our GitHub repo. When I was researched before for the
Yeah.
base 44, we only get the front end side. We cannot get the code for the back end side. This will be like
Okay.
I still don't know how to get the back
Okay,
end side.
because okay, you were on a small account.
Ah,
I think so. Let me show you. Here I'm on base 44. Okay, and here in the dashboard, I have access to the function. Those ones is the backend code. Okay,
oh,
store mail request. Okay, this one is my backend code. This one they are using Deno. Well, here they say they use the software SDK from base 44. Okay, but actually it is Deno, which is a new version of Node.js. Okay, so we could basically copy this code, and instead of using Deno, we could use our Node.js. Okay, but
okay.
I think it's not a problem to have the backend on Deno. Okay,
Yeah.
but you see here, everything is here. All the backend is here, right? For the Zetaton, we took for everyone a small package, and in the small package, if you look at it here, okay, in the starter, you don't have the GitHub integration, and you don't have the backend function. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
All right. So it's clear. I think.
Yeah, so it's clear. Um, so basically, what you have here is this is this is the front end. Okay, as you can see, they use React. Okay, uh, okay. When they say they use the base 44 client, it's because actually it's the emulator in the IDE of base 44. But you can see the code is here. Okay, I this one had different elements that we need to understand. This one is the Lucid React library of icons.
It's third party,
But
but Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can
I
export.
think we can export. Also, there is button for the GitHub on the top.
Yeah, there is here. It's here. Okay. Connect GitHub. Well, it's in beta, but I think at least we can do it manually.
Yeah.
Anyway, if at one moment we see that at this point of time it's complicated to integrate it, I'm okay with that we could have one big account of Base44 and put all our apps there. Okay. At the end of the day, okay, uh, if we have an account at $200 per month, what is important is go to market. We don't want to, you know, we don't want to take too long time to make the V3. It should be at light speed. Okay. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but to my experience, when I start to work on an app, I would say within 6 to 10 hours, the app is done. You have your own experience. You were uh, you were in the Zetaton, okay? So both of you did a great job at the Zetaton, so you know what it means. Uh, yeah. So, but basically 6 to 10 hours for making the app. I would say 90% of the app. Then after that, it can take days and weeks to fine tune here and there, etc. Generate something. Ah, no, it's not okay, so I revert, etc. No, but and what I add to the appeal thing is not necessarily what we really need. I just did it as a kind of laboratory to say, okay, what if I need that? What if I need that? Okay, like for example, in the appeal, bon, I don't know what is necessary, what is not. Okay, but at least we have things, and I wanted to try also because sometimes when you want to try a new thing, is not you want to apply it to an app. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is to put everything in the channel, and then you make a plan, guys. Okay, any
Okay.
question?
Not yet. I think
Not
we
yet.
can
I think
start.
we can start with the mapping the which menu that we
Yeah,
will do that.
prompting menu,
Yeah.
the styling. I would say styling the menu, the behavior of the component, like a language selector and theme selector. Um, okay, there is one big thing I was about to forget, and I knew I wanted to talk about it. Is user authentication. We have to really, and this one I need you to. That's probably the first point that you should work on. Is I am in Zeta ERP, and
Oh,
you know the issue already, Vera, because you did it for which one, Zetaflix. I'm already identified and logged in ADMTC or Zeta EDH. When I click inside Zeta ERP to open the appeal, it will not ask me to reconnect because we will use backstage SSO from ADMTC or uh, to carry, the connection.
Yeah. It's on the Zetasis also. I
Yeah.
believe.
sudah staging
So
yang dari 8
this one, I think it's very important. We make it standardized.
saya tak ada yang script.
Uh,
Be careful on that part because the user management will
Yeah.
change on the Zeta v3 because the user management that we have currently on ADMTC and on EDH is not good at all. On ADMTC, you have to disconnect, reconnect every time you want to switch user type, which is not good. And EDH, we merge them all together, so you don't have to disconnect, reconnect, but we still have a hierarchy, which is if someone is academic director and a company member, when he is logging in, he will be logged as academic director by default because hierarchically speaking, it's higher, but it's not good. They should add to each other the permissions of those two user type because he's those two user type. And
Okay. So that's something we need to settle first, because at this
yeah,
point of time, like for example, this one to connect as a student, I just made this page to say, okay, I'm connect as this student. Okay, but I didn't log out and log in. Okay, and it will happen for every app.
Can we make
Okay?
a user
Yeah.
builder, sir? User builder. I mean, user type builder with the permission in the core app.
We could, like for example, here I have where is it? My users in which app? Let me see. But it's in this one. Uh, mail, mail data service. Yeah. In this one, um, I have my users. Okay. Um, but I don't think we should be allowed to add user in the Zetasat, right, guys?
no, the user
I
will be
mean,
in the core.
yeah. I mean, like the role for the user. So only for
So the
admin.
role for the user, we could put it. Anyway,
Yeah.
it could be just on read from the Zeta core.
I'm not sure I'm following here. You add the user and the user type, the role on the Zeta core directly,
Yes.
and then it's just that this user type has permission to access the Zeta app,
Yeah.
internship, admission,
Yeah.
blah
But
blah blah.
those permission, what Vera says is those permission should be nested in the Zetasat. The permission for that sat, right?
I mean, like only one place on the core to manage the permission.
Yeah.
And then on the after we manage, like for example, user of no, the finance member, we add the role as finance member on the core, and we can also manage which menu they can see, they can edit, and they can view something like that on the core only.
Ah, so you mean like a user type builder where you
Yeah, yeah,
create the user type plus the permission directly from the
Ah,
application,
yeah.
yeah,
not from the.
yeah,
Why not? But I don't think it's a priority. I mean, why not? But first, it's not something that I would let in the hands of customers because changing permissions can create big dysfunctionment in those applications, especially with form builders validation by certain user type, etc. If they change the permissions, it can break some process. So
yeah. Okay.
it could be still something good, but only available for us. So at least we don't need nobody to develop and change the permission. We can do it from a UI. So why not? But it's not the main focus. I would say it's not the big priority. The big priority is first is to have a proper user management in the code itself. Is that if someone has multiple user type, he can have multiple user type. He can even have multiple user type, which is a user type as a user. Let's take example of EDH right now. As a user on EDH, but also as a student with the same email, and also as a teacher. Why not? And those are different process. They don't have the same access. Some of them have access to the Zeta platform. The student only have access to the student UI, but this needs to be handled by the user management.
Pas label dan mungkin
Right now, we cannot. It's not working. If we try to add a user with the same email as a student, it's gonna destroy all the data of the student to create him as a user and stuff, and bringing big issues. But the reality is, it's happening. Students graduate, and then sometimes they join EDH as a teacher, or as
as
a
a staff.
finance member.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to take this in consideration.
So put it the slide here.
nggak ada isu
It's not slide.
di FA tentang
Is
start
uh,
yang berhubungan sama
users.
button di response dialog itu loh, pas kalau kita mau reject ini kan ada dialog tuh ya dialog di sini.
So
Nah,
okay, and I will put it first.
kan ada button add voice more message add terminus cele etape itu. Nah,
Okay, guys. So I will put all in the channel.
pada
Okay, and then you digest those things. And what I would like to do to have once you digest it this afternoon,
sebagai validator
please you make a plan. Okay, this is how we're gonna do for our exploration. This we need to test this, we need to find this. Okay, because it's not that okay. Now we all agree and boom, tomorrow we can start. No, we need to say what is still need to be explored. Okay, and tested, and then okay, let's try on this app to do it. While talking, I was wondering, maybe we could already create those apps,
ya makanya efeknya dari FA
Zetasat
bulan itu.
template, and then I clone it and I add my functionalities. So I already have my styling, I already have my everything is there. I just have my functionalities. That's also something that we need to think about.
Ada kata-kata juga.
Like
Yeah,
for
we
example,
clone the existing.
yeah, we clone one template that has already a very good styling, etc. So we don't need to add again the prompt of the language selector, etc.
But that's what we said yesterday with Wilhelm Bagas. The first base is we have to develop the Zetasat app zero,
Template.
let's say, template, which is every Zetasat app is articulated this way, and then we duplicate it for all our needs, and then depending of the app we want to do from this template, then we fine tune the little things that is specific to this app. But
So-
it's like we say, the base is like the styling that we decide. There's always the menu indicator, follow-up, logs, and then assistant AI. There's always the settings where you bring the programs from the core, and then you will have to set up a couple of things for this app. Form builder, notification builder, document builder. That's already the main things that you need
Oh,
in each app.
ya, derogation filia itu.
So there is no need for that when we do this, right? You see my screen? I clone the Zetasat template. In that template is already the styling, the menu, etc. Then I'm making my prompt to explain what the Zetasat is doing, and then I'm input the prompt in base 44, and that's done.
And that's done.
That's done. That's okay, guys.
Yeah, let's focus
All right.
on this.
Cheers. Let's make it happen. I'll put the things in the channel, okay? Before 12. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Cheers.
Let's make it happen. Big fun.
Oke.
Sekarang berarti aku masih bingung untuk clone ya. Gimana caranya kita bisa nge-clone punyanya quarantine tuh gitu?
Kita minta akses admin. Nanti di dashboard di game app setting itu ada button clone.
Terus habis itu pas ketika clone itu
Nanti clone dia bakal masuk jadi app sendiri
di workspace kita. Kira jadi adminnya sebenarnya udah muncul di workspace kita sebagai kontributor. Nah kita clone buat kalau mau buat aplikasi ini.
Berarti base-nya itu udah ada untuk yang dari core itu. Core itu berarti kita perlu berarti kan dari core itu kita harus hapus yang lainnya tuh,
Ya nanti kita bersihin
gitu ya.
itu dari beberapa kita minta ini harusnya buat apa sih, kita tinggal masukin gini aja.
Berarti masuk kalau real case kan berarti kayak sekarang kan kita bacain dulu yang di core template yang punya core tuh, biar itu cuma punya core setting aja. Core setting aja terus habis
manager gitu.
Practice manager kan punya sendiri-sendiri bukan?
Nah ya gini, form builder tim manager kan punya sendiri-sendiri di satu app.
Ya.
Itu kan kita tetepin
Ya.
dari karyawan.
Di satu app itu kan maksudnya di gini ya kan, di apa namanya, di next gini
Di
ya
menunya
misalnya.
lah kalau kita enggaknya kita bilangin menu aja ya.
Oh, berarti maksudmu tuh yang setting itu dari core, terus menu yang itu tuh yang kayak apa namanya, indikator, terus follow up, terus habis itu di sini ada log, terus habis itu ada form builder, berarti di sini berarti form builder ya.
Form builder tetap dengan itu. Form builder tetap dengan itu.
Oh berarti waktu ngakses core itu pun ada itu berarti waktu di dashboard itu.
Nah yang kita clone ini yang menunya. Yang di-clone tuh menunya aja. Core tetap satu, nggak ada apa-apa.
Ya. Itu udah menunya berarti kan langsung udah ada, berarti form buildernya pun udah gini kan berarti.
Jadi yang dibuat clone kan memang satu yang udah ada menu pasti itu. Kayak udah ada indikator, follow up, log, form builder, ngetik.
Oh udah ada form builder ya?
Yang di sini belum, masih di yang kemarin di share sama dia.
Itu berarti bakal quarantine yang ini.
Itu ya yang kemarin dia bahas. Dia bakal take care untuk apa inscription sama finance. Inscriptionnya dia tuh udah isi
form buildernya itu. Oke.
Jadi nanti itu yang bakal di clone buat fitur-fitur yang lain. Readmission, internship kayak gitu.
Oke. Berarti kan yang kita harus kita planning itu kan yang modul selanjutnya, berarti modul kayak internship, yang readmission.
Tapi bagian ini ya main flow dari internshipnya. Gitu aja. Nah yang ada ini itu kan biasanya itu kan butuh apa buat plannya, apa aja, apa yang perlu dashboard. Kayak itu. Enggak kita butuh proyeknya dia.
Kalau kayak gitu kan untuk buat plan itu kita harus nunggu itu dulu sampai mana itu.
Kita nunggu praktis mau hasilnya apa dulu. Dia udah ngasih menu langsung nggak? Kalau udah ngasih menu langsung kita buat menu dulu. Kayak buatin dashboard kayak biasa lah, statusnya kayak gimana. Terus yang mana kita dulu kayak gitu. Kita utamanya yang description dulu. Itu yang dipegang sama konten, itu selesai baru kita buat. Masukkan gitu sih.
Oh, berarti kita nunggu benar-benar template-nya dulu itu selesai, berarti kan baru bisa
secara langsung ke base platformnya ya. Yang sekarang kita perlu jalan itu ya cuma plannya aja.
Terus berarti belum masuk ke modul selanjutnya itu berarti.
Kalau ada harusnya sih nanti bisa kita tagih lah, bisa kita tagih, tapi nggak tahu enggak sih.
Terus berarti kita tetap perlu nyoba explore gini ya berarti?
Enggak dulu, kita
nunggu gini ya dulu berarti.
Nunggu kita planning, kita mapping mana, kita buat dashboard lah dulu. Dashboard strateginya kayak gimana?
Strategi yang kamu maksud sama dashboard itu kayak gimana jadinya?
Strategi
sama dashboard itu gimana?
Dashboard ini ngelis semua menu yang bakal kita develop nanti. Targetnya apa aja sih yang ada di ketiga.
Oke.
Nah, terus statusnya kayak gimana, dia urutannya kayak mana, yang mana perlu duluan, yang mana termasuk mapping yang mana butuh form builder, mana enggak, itu juga perlu.
Tak jadi mesin Cibaki.
Soalnya itu bakal ngaruh ke sistem yang bakal di-clone. Ini nge-clone dari mana? Itu kan ngaruh juga nanti. Begitu. Dia ini butuh di-clone atau enggak? Ini jadi kayak clone pun kita enggak satu base template. Kalau kita juga perlu buat yang kosongan yang cuma isi tema, localization gitu aja.
Kenapa perlu itu?
Pinterest dia nggak perlu gini motif. Pinterest dia nggak perlu.
Oh. Berarti kalau kayak gitu template-nya pun harus banyak dong. Berarti kalau kayak gitu ceritanya.
Nah itu kan nanti settingnya itu kita pikiran itu dah. Habis buat dashboard.
Oke. Template berarti banyak, berarti kalau kayak gitu template ada yang khusus untuk kayak mailbox yang kayak gitu tuh kan nggak perlu kayak
Nggak perlu.
nggak perlu kayak tapi yang kayak gitu tuh bakal ke ZAT-nya atau bakal di core dia kayak yang kayak gitu karena kan itu
Dia tergantung.
nggak bisa berdiri sendiri.
Tergantung.
Wah,
Kayak
ini jangan lupa di
student dia tuh nggak bisa ngeliat code.
Student nggak bisa melihat core.
Ya langsung ke student.
Student UI maksudnya kalau sebagai student gitu.
Alumni pun sama aja nggak bisa ngeliat code. Dia cuma ngeliat nama alumni. Jadi dia punya ingat sendiri.
Student kalau berarti misalnya kayak yang case mailbox sama tas itu kan berarti itu ada di core.
Apa?
Yang kayak mailbox sama tas itu ada di
Mailbox
core
untuk user biasa.
ya misalnya itu ada di core kan berarti.
Tax tuh tergantung.
Kenapa tasnya tergantung
Apalagi tadi mailbox sama tax tergantung.
dengan
Di core biasa ada, di spesifik user yang nggak punya core ada.
spesifik yang nggak punya core.
Sudah.
Oh berarti kalau kayak gitu dibuatin sendiri aja gitu maksudnya kayak
Yang sendiri boleh.
karena kan itu
Tapi
maksudnya
jeleknya gini, studentnya ada punya UI sendiri. Berpindah lagi ke baru ke bentuk.
nggak bisa kayak iframe dia built-in gitu ya maksudnya dalam artian dia tuh ngakses keluar tapi dalam pack yang sama bukan yang kayak buka gini.
Dulu kan kita pakai gitu kan. Masalahnya itu di local storage beda domain.
Oh
Kalau saya pakai sinkronisasi solution. Masalahnya sih itu. Enggak buat dashboard dulu. Enggak usah mikir terus.
ya nah maksudnya dia dapat gambarannya juga sekarang mangkatnya itu dah sekarang tas itu dibagi itu dashboard itu bakal apa aja berarti sih berarti dari gininya kita ngeliat ke IDH dulu berarti
Nanti kan dikasih list menunya.
oh nanti dikasih berarti oke.
Udah dapat list menunya, baru kita itu masuk ke dashboard. Kita mapping mana duluan harusnya, mana yang sebelah kanan. Masih cek, mungkin checkbox kayak di filtrasi.
Checkbox oh chatbox
Checkbox.
chat
Cek.
cek
Ini kita ngomong di dashboard nih, checkbox kayak itu checkbox untuk di menu ini ada apa aja settingnya.
oh gini berarti maksud misalnya udah dapat kita list menu nih kayak admission nah terus habis itu apa aja yang perlu digini berarti kita mapping itunya berarti mappingnya tuh admission itu perlu apa aja nah setelah itu baru kita buatin template masing-masing itu berarti
Dia
template
perlu buat template baru atau dengan reference. Enggak ada, tinggal upload aja.
oh jadi saya biasanya itu dari punya konten pun bisa dibuatin kayak template misalnya template satu yang punya core template 2 tuh yang nggak punya core template 3 tuh yang nggak punya form builder atau berarti kita punya banyak template berarti untuk gitu. Nanti itu nanti bisa tinggal di clone masukin ke admission misalnya admission itu ternyata butuh yang form builder itu kita pakai template yang itu untuk di clone untuk di admission gitu berarti buat admission. Nah untuk nanti gabungin itu jadi satu semua itu berarti kita punya satu base lagi berarti kalau kayak
Itu
gitu.
tugasnya ini salah satu
Oh, gitu.
udah masuk ke repo, mereka masuk ke repo mereka yang
Berarti tugas kita tuh benar-benar kayak misalnya mau admission ya kita buatin template untuk admission gitu sampai itu aja berarti
sampai benar-benar flow-nya itu
bisa dipakai dengan gini.
kayak nanti kan aku udah bilang BE nggak bisa didapat katanya,
Ya
dia bilang ya
ada build
kalau
functionnya.
nggak bisa nanti
Ya worst case scenario nya pakai list part pakai demo kan. Tapi itu kan worst case scenario itu kan berarti dari setelah production timnya yang ingin
ya
No. No.
berarti gambarannya saya dapat kayak gini gitu. Saya ada misalnya kita punya nah anggaplah kita punya define dua template satu satu yang full kayak isi form builder dan apa namanya notification builder satu yang benar-benar
Wow,
kayak
what the
command
fuck?
menu
Masih ada
yang
tuh.
tanpa form builder sama gini. Nah dua template ini kita bakal integrasiin ke menu-menu yang ada di YDH gitu berarti.
Ya itu udah.
Nah kayak menu-menu kayak my task, my box, terus dari apa lagi
Ya memang
yang
delegasinya
dia
itu-
tuh sebenarnya tuh
delegasinya
bisa
emang
berdiri
gitu. Tapi
sendiri itu
Kamu lihat
kemana dia jatuhnya kayak tutorial in
fundatornya,
app itu
itu bahannya
aku
hilang.
nggak yakin ada tutorial lagi
Hilang.
karena chatbot
Sebagai akadirnya,
buat yang
Kan masih bisa
berarti tutorial
apa yang
sama
ada di
in
sini.
app itu berarti benar-benar ada nggak perlu
Itu kalau
karena
kita-
ada chatbot dari AI itu.
ada itu tadi sama AI struktur
Ya memang nggak ada hubungannya sama Dominic. Pertanyaannya Dominic sih.
Terus tadi tak lihat tuh ada company itu punya zat sendiri
Ya,
berarti kita ngakses company
Ini
itu
bilang-
dari zat itu berarti
ini berarti jawabannya gini.
company
Baterainya dihilangin karena isu ini gitu.
company manager itu bukan company dan nggak ada apa-apanya company
soalnya internship kan perlu company maksudnya
ya itu
ngomong.
yang
Nah, habis
itu
itu-
ya di
Untuk akan kalau misalkan
datanya
baterainya
itu
muncul
kayak
yang hadir perlu
udah
dicek
muncul kan ya
Berarti cuma nge-get datanya. Nah, itu tuh berarti kita nge-get itu di ke company-nya atau company-nya tuh dibawa ke
kalau
core.
kan baterai itu juga bukan masih
Oh, berarti
muncul
itu pun nggak dibawa ke
sebagai
core berarti
hadir.
ke gininya. Kenapa?
Mau di
core itu ya
juga.
setting aja program di channel
Company nggak maksudnya nggak masuk ke core. Dan
dia kan nggak punya user sendiri ya company CEO atau juga tetap menunya ada tapi waktu diklik berbeda gitu
ya maksudnya aku nangkepnya kemarin itu kalau company
Jadi
itu
parameter
masuk
ya.
ke parameter dia karena kan company itu kan di core itu punya list kayak company yang dia punya terus habis itu punya list apa namanya staff yang ada di company itu berarti nggak gitu berarti
itu udah proses
berarti dia udah di
bukan utama proses aplikasi kita
berarti dia tuh udah di luar berarti ketika kita mau nge-get misalnya udah si red company A berarti kita nge-get ke company modulnya udah dapetin list yang apa yang kita mau di sana gitu.
Yes.
Bisa langsung connect ke gini gitu mau ngomong di Atlas dibuatin langsung gini berarti langsung di
ya.
initial promnya tuh
Enggak ada siapa kita di initial prompt tuh nggak ngasih spesifik itu cuma ngasih tahu aja nanti bakalan koneksi ke Atlas
ya maksudnya itu tuh maksudnya kita perlu declare itu kan maksudnya itu bakal nanti kita pakai gini baru habis itu baru bisa di connect aja.
initial prompt tuh perlu kayak kita ngasih tahu kayak naruh omongan bahwa ini bisa ngapain aja gitu nanti biar pas waktunya kita nambah tuh kita udah siapin.
Nah, itu yang untuk case yang gimana caranya biar nggak terlalu cepat sama nggak terlalu lambat itu benar-benar kita nge-declare apa aja yang ada. Nah, terus kalau yang gini itu gimana? Berarti kayak permission gitu. Setiap user yang login itu masuk.
Saat itu nggak statis sebenarnya dari dulu. Orang tadi kan aku mau nambah peserta builder, nggak pernah dulu.
Dan anggap kalau case yang alumni berapa ada user yang terlibat?
Oh ini aja sama akadem
Akan dia ngapain?
mirip tuh buat yang survei. Kalau itu cuma buat survei aja, nggak ada.
Kan kalau intensif itu ada kayak apa namanya, operator itu, anggap satu operator bisa gini, bisa kayak buat form itu, terus habis itu CRM-nya bisa gini, bisa ngassign dirinya atau kayak gini kan.
Iya. Terus apa?
Terus habis itu
Karena
studentnya, itu kan berarti tiga anggap ada tiga
bisa
user gitu,
lebih ya,
misalnya tiga gitu,
validator ya.
ya itu kan CRM itu sebagai validator ya kan. Nah kan itu UI ya.
Makanya ada UI student, validator, administrator.
Oh. Dan itu langsung gini berarti kan dibuatin nih
Ya,
gininya.
validator pun cuma ngeliatin kayak
Apa aja yang sebagai validator
ya,
gitu ya,
form yang mana yang perlu dia validate kayak gitu. Sederhana.
Berarti nanti dari productionnya berarti yang bakal ngebuat sendiri UI-nya gitu.
UI-nya ini bisa
Itu dah maksudnya itu yang bakal
Di
maksudnya
semua.
dibuatin permission sendiri. Berarti kita kayak ngebuatin tugas gini kan. Kalau misalnya tugas sebagai student tuh dia bisa ngapain aja gitu. Berarti tugas sebagai CRM tuh bisa ngapain aja gitu. Berarti. Yang proses builder itu berarti bakal di state dari awal berarti diomongin. Proses builder itu. Itu kan berarti kita bisa ganti flow-nya gitu berarti. Karena kan proses sama form builder dibedain tuh.
proses builder.
Itu ada dipisah tadi proses builder sama form ini. Yang sepengetahuanku berarti kita punya kayak generic proses dari
Proses
alumni.
builder apa?
Tadi nggak ada di gini sih, nggak di detailin proses builder.
Enggak yang kamu bilang.
Yang aku nangkep tuh berarti kayak misalnya proses alumni sekarang kan dari akadir. Terus habis itu kan ngirim survei ke alumni deh yang nyelesain semuanya. Nah kalau ada proses builder kan berarti kan ada proses yang bisa di-update tuh. Jadinya mungkin sebelum akademi director tuh ngirim survei, dia harus ngapain dulu tuh itunya. Jadi kita kayak punya generic proses yang general proses yang
Tetap kita udah nentuin gitu.
general yang maksudnya generalnya ada general, maksudnya setiap kayak modul intensif alumni itu punya deh general sendiri. Terus habis itu setelah apa namanya generalnya itu ada, itu bisa dimodif. Jadi nanti ketika mau dipakai bisa diganti-ganti prosesnya.
Flow-nya kan berarti.
Hah?
Flow-nya.
Ya flow itu. Yang yang tadi yang gini, gimana caranya update?
Yang aku pikirkan kayak gini. Yang dipikir aku ya. Kayak udah terlimitasi kayak alumni apaan sih dia, kayak misalnya hadir akses alumni itu apaan sih dia buat form terus kirim formnya. Kayak kalau dibilang ada freestyle gitu ya mereka bisa ngapain, aku nggak tahu ngapainnya lagi. Kayak kan opsinya udah jelas cuma ada menu-menu itu aja. Menu survei
Itu kan cuma buat derogation aja.
buildernya.
Kenapa yang korektor approvalnya hilang juga itu?
Oke.
Kayak udah ada kayak kita nentuin bahwa ini aja loh batasan menunya gitu. Kalau dibilang prosesnya di dinamikin harusnya balik ke user lagi.
Right button send my message and complete this step
Nggak
in the
ada
derogation form.
Oh berarti bukan kayak misalnya kita udah anggap ya kayak akademi director itu cuma bisa ngirim sama ngeliat aja kan gitu. Terus habis itu mungkin kayak ada perubahan bahwa dia tuh bisa
itu ke
kayak
Indonesia.
kayak maksudnya ngapain nambahin satu proses lagi sebelum itu.
Enggak. Itu di satu misalnya dia awalnya nggak bisa sampai itu jadi bisa nah gitu. Itu aku tuh
Oh, berarti bukan yang kayak benar-benar dinamik kayak misalnya nggak nih send kan send waktu send tuh langsung otomatis. Nah sekarang ini kayak butuh
Jam
approval
berapa bisa
dulu
ready gini develop
untuk gini untuk
itu
send
lebih
itu.
kayak batasan di gini
Eh,
di
sekarang
flownya aja. Kalau kamu kasih maksudnya kayak, itu kan tanpa batas. Ya kalau ada dikit gitu loh.
bikin
Ya ini itu maksudnya.
Enggak.
Nah
Yang
maksudnya
penting apa aja ada dikit itu aja limitasi. Kalau emang kita ingin nyediain buat total, ya dari commissionnya lebih lagi dia bisa ngesetting itu nggak.
saya kira biar apa namanya? Saya kira yang general itu yang gini.
Oke.
Berarti nextnya kita nunggu aja berarti nih baru bisa kita bikin dashboardnya.
Coba sambil